Hey, what's up? It's the Purple Yeti. I'm back again. My ridiculous moniker in a different light. Some would say it's an illuminated light, but it's just that the sun's going down. Usually record these guys at night. I felt especially frisky right now, so when you see this, yeah, it'll be daybreak. But when I record this, it will be nightfall-ish, pre. Anyway, I got my delicious green tea. Tastiness. And I'm ready to talk about what has happened in the last week or so in college football. So let's get started, shall we? Badoo. Oh, Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten. Big Ten, kudos to you guys up north. You are working with the Ivy League to take care of, to research concussions. The Ivy League is obviously the brains of the operation, but you guys are finally catching up to the SEC and I think the Big 12? I don't know. But that's the Big Ten for you. They're always catching up. That's fine. I mean, they feel like they're ahead in their own heads, which is probably why the concussion study is now starting for those guys. Thanks, Ivy League. I mean, you got nothing better to do except produce multimillionaires. So, whew. Man, the case of the decade, maybe the case of the century, is about to happen. And you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought it was over. I thought it just got over. I'm not talking about that. That's a criminal. No, wrong case. I'm talking about the Harvey Updyke tree poisoning case. That should be just as amazing as the other one that I'm not going to talk about. Yeah, so they're delaying it till October because I guess the local Auburn student newspaper reported that Updyke admitted to poisoning the trees, when in fact he did no such thing. So, nice little motion to delay by the defense, saying, listen, it's a witch hunt, let's get him. Now, whether or not I think he did it, the evidence would point that way. I still do believe in innocent until proven guilty. So, I figure with the due process and all that shebang, that he'll get whatever is coming to him. But I'm glad they're not pushing the fast forward, or in this case the easy button, and they're being a little more diligent. So there are some smart people down south. Actually, yeah, surprise. So so we're gonna have a 14 playoff. It's amazing, isn't it? I feel good. All the commissioners came out, they're all happy and stuff, and they're all like, yay, and it's going to happen. And Jack Swarbrick from Notre Dame was the guy that spoke for everybody, because it was kind of, throwing them a bone, throwing them a chip, So, why am I bringing it up? I think we all know playoffs are happening. I think we all know that the Big Ten lost out. But I'm pointing this out because Notre Dame now, they feel like if they get in the top 4, they can go, but there's still some rumblings for some realignment going on. I guess there was some sources that were stating that that Notre Dame was about to move their Olympic sports over to the Big 12. In like 2013 or 2014. The Swarbrick quickly dismissed it and be like, what? And Bowlesby was kind of the same tone. But, I mean, Texas and Notre Dame, apparently the Lost Odds and Jack Swarbrick are best buds. They're golfing buddies. And there has been some quiet rumblings of things to note. Oklahoma is on Notre Dame's football schedule this year. Texas will be playing Notre Dame home for 4 games. 2015. So you're looking at maybe some trial runs, maybe like, hey, are we a good fit? 30-day money-back guarantee with the Big 12. You see that coming. And you'll hear from uneducated Big Ten fans talking about how that Notre Dame is the home for the Big Ten. It's regionally, it makes sense, and they play everybody year in and year out. Yeah, wrong. You could thank Fielding Yost for that. If you want to dive into the old history books, you can see that Michigan's head coach, coincidentally enough, rallied to keep Notre Dame out of the Big Ten, what was then called the Western Conference, because they lost to this fledgling little team. They were used to beating them like 8 years in a row, and I guess he couldn't take it so much in his craw. He was like, not in our league. So that forced Notre Dame to scramble about the country, going on tours and playing everybody, and guess what? That's what led them to gain their national prominence. Of course, good football and good coaches help, but when you can recruit the country, that's a lot different than recruiting your neighborhood. So Notre Dame and their national brand, and a lot of Notre Dame fans believe that this little snub and the forced survival mode that they had to flip on is what led them being the kind of football brand they are today. And for them just to throw it all out, and I know it's the age of realignment, and nothing, tradition doesn't matter anymore. I mean, the border war is gone. A&M and Texas doesn't play each other anymore, and West Virginia's not going to be playing Pitt anymore. All bets are off right now. But those are conference affiliated teams, and I think one thing that would keep Notre Dame fairly stubborn, one thing they won't budge on, is their independence. Now, I don't know. I kind of see them just striking another TV deal, because the only way that Notre Dame would fall into the conference is if they don't have the kind of TV deal that pushes the kind of money that these other schools are making in their own conference deals. And I'm sure that ESPN and Disney are pulling a little Pinocchio in reverse, and taking the little fighting Irish boy and melding him into a wooden block controllable puppet for the Disneyverse, by slowly and surely, with the Longhorn Network, with this conference realignment, BCS, their media guys, forcing changes to playoffs. I'm sure with all that happening, we're going to see Notre Dame getting a different contract, more than likely either with ESPN or some other. They're never going to Fox. I don't think Fox has skin. NBC's this is their only play at college football, so NBC will probably throw in a little on it, but I don't see Notre Dame going to the conference, and if it was between the Big 12 and the Big 10, I actually do see the Big 12 more than the Big 10. So that's my take on that. But there was other news this week. Yeah, as a matter of fact, what else has happened this last week? Well, today I read about Snoop Dogg's kid getting a scholarship offer from UCLA. Okay, he's a sophomore in high school. Granted, the guy's like 6'2", $185, and he's a pretty good wide receiver. But I mean, what is this, UCLA? Are you going super Hollywood? I mean, are we going to see a reality show on Stars Kids football play-ins at UCLA? I mean, if this is UCLA's attempt at being relevant, then they just throw everything out the window. They might as well just stick with basketball, which is already in pretty dire straits right now. And Mark Knopfler is not going to help them, and neither are other talented musicians like P. Diddy or Snoop Dogg. So for reals, stop it, homie. Stop it, Bruins. You're ruining the Bruinings. So just don't. Yeah, and what else? Hey, guess what? Texas Tech is starting to throw a big old storm on the Longhorn Network televising their game against Texas State later on this year. ESPN, the people who are pulling the strings, and the Longhorn Network backed off from that because there was threat that they might cancel the game. Thank you, orangebloods.com. Yeah, Texas is going to try to play for stuff like that. So is ESPN. But they're going to bend on stuff like this. And all they got to do is like what happened the last week. You know, cancel their game, threaten enough, walk away, whatever. You know, really what Texas Tech needs to do is build their own network, which K-State has done, Kansas has done, even Missouri, although that's probably going away now because of the SEC. But Oklahoma's doing one. Everyone's doing their own network. They need to stop complaining and start producing their own televised content. And trust me, I'm in Austin. The Longhorn Network ain't exactly a sterling success. It's not on every cable carrier. It's kind of a joke, really. So the only real threat is for people who pay for it, like pay-per-view, nationwide. I mean, they can't just shoehorn their way into cable providers. So Texas Tech, do online streaming, do it efficient. I mean, online video is the way to go. Do that instead of threatening to move out and not play games. So, so that's that. Man. Nothing really K-State wise. Chris Harper shooting for 1,000 yards this year. I don't think he's going to do it because Colin Klein's going to run more and he throws even more, even though that they're teasing Colin Klein throwing the ball. Now I'm sure with Klein's work ethic he will get better, but I mean, come on, 1,000 yards? I don't see that happening at all. So, yeah, Kansas news. Nothing recruiting wise. Texas news. Nothing really exciting. You know, I think we're about done here. It's getting close. Under 60 days. Under 70 days. Almost 2 months away from college football being back. I'm starting to get excited. I might bitch a bit about the playoffs and what my take is on it on the site, so stay tuned to that. In the meantime, if you've got any questions, comments, whatever, throw it down in here. And until then, subscribe. I don't have any buttons. I'm just pointing because it's the cool thing to do. I will see you next time. Have fun, and later.